Hello viewers, this is your pilot Frank Magna, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if not, maybe this lecture is here to cheer you up. Alright, so today we're going to have a very simple tutorial from Photoshop. All versions can work, but I'll be using CS6, though it doesn't matter if you have CS3. So let's begin. Sorry for that. Okay, sorry for that. So how to remove a background color when editing hair for a stylish lady. Okay, so that is how this is what we're going to do today. How to remove background color when editing hair for a stylish lady, like this one here. Okay, so I think this is the best picture I can use. Alright, so we're going to edit this kind of hair. Very technical, but if you know the right tool, it's very easy. Okay, so first things first, when you're starting something, you can, let me close this. No, that one can be there. So first things first, you go to file, new. But if you know the shortcut, if you get used to Photoshop, it's better you get used to this shortcut. So you press Ctrl N to access that, then give it a name. First things first, give your project a name. We can say hair edit. Okay, so let's continue. So after giving it a name, now next thing you have to ask yourself, which unit are you going to be working in? Okay, if you're not sure, just come here, check here. Americans, they like using inches. Here in Africa we use centimeters. Better in East Africa, I don't know about West Africa, but I think it's the same. So we use centimeters. Then resolution. When it comes to resolution, if you're going to print work, leave it at 300, but if you're going to do work on the screen, you can reduce this, but just leave it the way it is. Color mode, we shall be working with RGB color. It's always better to work in that color in Photoshop. Then background content, you can work in white, but I prefer working in a transparent background, meaning there's nothing that will be there. So I'll be using my width 25 centimeters, 15 centimeters. Yeah, so that's the width I'll be using. So I'll say okay, then it will load up. So after loading up, so how do we import an image? How do we import an image? That's very simple. There are many ways of importing an image, but this is the fastest way. The fastest, I mean, you have, let's say, so you have to have your picture near you. Mine is on the desktop, so go to desktop, look for that picture. It's called hairstyle. Then this is the fastest way, just drag it there, boop, and searching for it. So when you see those crosses, Photoshop is asking you a very simple question. It's transformation, and these are the questions. Are you okay with the transformation, or you don't want the picture? If you're okay with it, but before you're okay with it, first stretch it a little bit like that. Not so much. Some people do it like this. No, do it simple. Okay, so after doing that, that's when you can confirm, or you can press enter. So yeah, so that's done. So step 2 now, like I said, how to remove background color when editing hair for a stylish lady. That's what we're meaning. Like, how do you remove that hair and the background color? They mean that background there. How do you remove it from Photoshop? So just sit back and relax, because you're with the pilot, you know. This is FM Motion Live. Alright, so we shall be using a very simple tool, but before we do that, let's first use a lasso tool. So I'll go to my lasso. First cut out the big junk. Lasso tools, you just draw like this. Yeah, cut out that part, then come back and connect to this part. You have to go around, then immediately. But before we delete, first check your layers, because Photoshop is a layer based program, not that. So check your layers. Okay, if you don't see layers, go to window, look for that panel called layers, or that window called layers. So this is my layers. Now I was going to say delete, but I'll get an error message. I think you get that a lot, guys. The viewers could not complete your request because the smart object is not directly editable. So what it means is this picture is not yet editable, so you need to make it editable before you start editing. So why isn't it editable? This is the reason why, that symbol there. So it is a smart object. If I put there my cursor and wait for a few minutes, you can see it tells me smart object thumbnail. So to do that, you just right click and then you say rasterize layer. So it has gone. Now I can press the delete button. Boop. Then yeah, that part has gone. Then Control D. Then another thing, you can also go around this, remove that big junk. Why are we doing that? We are reducing on the size when it comes to editing. So delete that. Control D. Control D means deselect. Okay, you can do some little, but you have to be careful. So if you're noting somewhere, Control D is one of my first shortcuts. Control T for transforming, Control D for deselecting. Okay, so let's continue. So this is the picture we have. Go back to the default tools. So this is where you get all the tools. Okay, the rest are panels and palettes. So we shall go back to the first tool. When I say go back to the first tool, I mean move tool. For what? For moving the picture. Alright, so before we start editing this picture, we need to have a background, okay, an opposite color of the background. So I'll prefer black. So to create a new layer, you go to your layers panel, then down here there's an icon that says new layer, create a new layer. So you just click that and immediately a blank layer will appear. So it's better to that blank layer is a transparent layer, meaning it has a checkbox, like it looks like a chessboard. Okay, and that part that looks like a chessboard, that's a canvas. Okay, so transparency, so the meaning there's nothing there. Okay, so let's put a color. There's so many ways of dropping color there. One way, and the fastest, just go to this tool where you see gradient. This is the gradient tool. So long press or hold it, then select this bucket here. So once you select the bucket like that, you can choose, it picks the color from this place here. Okay, so this place has black. Just imagine you open up your software and black was down. Just have to click this, interchange. So make sure black is on top, white is down. So this bucket will pick that front color. Then make sure that is the layer you've selected. Then you just click. Yeah. So what does happen? Very simple. This is where Photoshop confuses some people, but it's very simple. Like I say, Photoshop is a layer-based program. Just check your layers and always be organized. So double click on this layer and give it a name. I'll call it BG, meaning background. Then click outside, then drag it down. Okay, alright, so drag it down. So you can watch out for my part 2. Okay, watch out for my part 2. Then I show you how you can now take down this. in a proper way. Join me later on. This is your boy Frank Magna, or your pilot Frank Magna. Subscribe to that button, and I can give you more content on various softwares. More and more is coming. Just stay tuned.